when Klay Thompson was in his locker after a game sipping on a brew, but Faker Willfell can shotgun beers on the Sports Center for the last 5 days and nobody say anything, and all y'all talked about is his leadership. How much leadership is it when he does this? So miss me with that nonsense. I ain't trying to hear it. And to wrap up this segment and this show, I want to talk about these contracts in Dallas. Jerry Jones came out and set his testicles on the table and tried to show out and degraded the abilities and the necessity of one, downgraded the necessity of one Ezekiel Elliott. This really disturbs me because this goes into the narrative, and I've been telling y'all for 3.5 years now, or at least, or a year since I've been on Spreaker. If you just got with me on Spreaker, and telling y'all for 4 years that this whole concept of the running back is no longer a needed position or a devalued position is a reason to get bros out the league. Yeah, HRap, you always going racial. So what? I'm black. That's what we do. But I'm not just going to go racial. I'm going to present you with facts. One of the facts is this. There hasn't been a running back that has dominated in the National Football League that has not been from my culture in more than 20 years. I was not in high school the last time it was a big time. As a matter of fact, I was in my sophomore year of high school. No, he wasn't even dominant. Craig James wasn't dominant. He just made the Pro Bowl. The last time it was a dominant non-black running back was John Riggins. And since John Riggins, there hasn't been any. So what they're trying to get you to convince you to believe that you can find a running back anywhere. Well, it's this guy named Dakota Prescott. It's this guy named Russell Wilson. It's this guy named Joe Montana. It's this guy named Tom Brady. None of those dudes were drafted before the 4th round. Dak is the only one not played in the Super Bowl and won one. So I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to hear it. Ezekiel Elliott, you do not design your team the way the Seattle Seahawks, the Chicago Bears, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, and other teams with the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and other teams that the Oakland Raiders have designed their team and tell me that you can get a running back anywhere. You can get any player anywhere. Because guess what? Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Jim McMahon won a Super Bowl. Jim McMahon won a Super Bowl. So if Jim McMahon, I got a caller. Caller, what's your name? What you want to talk about?
My bad. I didn't even realize you was in the middle of your show. I'm calling to wish you a happy birthday.
Hey man, it sucks to be you because you're usually in my chat room, you creep.
I'm busy working on cars, man. I'm busy.
Yeah, man. You know what? On live on air, you know what I'm finna say to you. Your mama. Now get off my phone, man.
Alright, bye.
Alright. That was Gun Buddy. Shout out to Gun Buddy for disrupting the show. He sucks. And for those who don't know who Gun Buddy is, he goes by the name of Vlad. Got into an argument with someone on Facebook about Jim Kelly. I said I wanted to see Jim Kelly versus Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. And this fool said Jim Kelly wasn't shit. And now I admit Bruce Lee was better than Jim Kelly. Hold. Now I admit Bruce Lee was better than Jim Kelly, but Jim Kelly was the truth. I almost read that wrong, RC. I totally agree with you. And I only seen Bruce Lee beat up people on in movies. Jim Kelly was the karate world champion at one time. I'm not saying Bruce Lee wasn't a bad mofo, but he was never world champion and Jim Kelly was. So it's easy to beat up people in choreography. Oh yeah, there he is. He's Gun Buddy is now taking his place off the air in the chat room. Big up to Gun Buddy. The appropriate. But I appreciate it, Gun Buddy, man. Because the Gun Buddy and his homeboy Ramon that he worked with over there at Pat Boys, man, I really appreciate it. That's my man. He's been my man for 30 years, y'all. That's why I give him a hard time. Big up to Gun Buddy. But like I was saying, man, I keep hearing this stuff about running backs are devalued. And I will continue to say this
week in and week out. Show me a team without a dominant running game and a defense with a Super Bowl championship, and the first time you show it to me will be it'll have to be in 2020 because it has never happened before. The Cleveland Browns are gonna hold my man Duke Johnson the same way. See, they want you to believe that these dudes are not necessary. That's because they can't do the job. Ezekiel Elliott is a different type of ball player. See, this is why I tell y'all, don't read no stats to me. Show me game tape. Talk to me about games in which consecutive games or consecutive seasons that this dude had bad years. You want to know why the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't make the playoffs last year? It had very little to do with their defense. Because they tell you that Mike Tomlin is not coaching defense the way he's supposed to. But guess what? Mike Tomlin had a number 6 ranked defense in the NFL. How is it that you got James Conner, a Pro Bowl caliber running back, allegedly, Ben Roethlisberger, Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, allegedly, set career highs in touchdowns and completions and yards last season, but your team only won 8 games, lost 7 and tied. You know why? Because the way you win in the National Football League is you run the win, you throw the score. How did the New England Patriots beat the Chiefs last year? Because Sonny Michel set rookie records for rushing in the playoffs last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, against the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. And then he kicked ass in the Super Bowl and ran, tired out the Rams, and then he was able to throw it over the top. So stop telling me that this dude ain't, you don't need him, because you know you do. Again, this is when players need to start, I'm not even saying go to Canada. Just go along to get along, get you a big time contract, get you a big time insurance policy on your body, and then when it comes time for your contract, bounce. See, player like Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper likes playing in Dallas. He grew up as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I think he grew up in the state of Alabama. But Amari Cooper isn't saying anything because he realized y'all can franchise one of us, but the other 2, we gonna have the option to walk. One of us is gonna be the odd man out, and he's not gonna be the odd man out because somebody gonna pay Amari Cooper to do his thing. See, this is why these players need to stop talking in the media. Give them that same Russell Wilson conversation, that same Tom Brady conversation, that same Dak Prescott conversation. Never let them see you sweat. Never let them know what's on your mind. Which leads me to Dak Prescott. He's not letting them see him sweat. But again, I'm hearing all this rhetoric about Dak ain't good enough. Well, Drew Brees ain't good enough at this point either to carry a team. Drew Brees needed Michael Thompson. He needs Alvin Kamara. He needs the big homie Latavius Murray to rush that football. Because if you want Drew Brees to carry you, remember, y'all spent a bunch of years 7-9, 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. But then when Ingram came into his own, and the other one, Alvin Kamara, came into his own, you start winning again. And then your defense improved. You know why your defense improved? Because I've never, I'm not gonna say it's never happened, but I've never heard it, and I doubt if it's hardly ever happened that the offensive line is gassed. You tire out the defense like that, constantly keeping them on the field with the running game, and then your quarterback can pick them apart. Dak Prescott, is he as good as Aaron Rodgers? No, but he shouldn't be compared to Aaron Rodgers. He shouldn't be, because he's not on that level yet. He's not on that level yet. But Dak Prescott, I literally heard somebody say on ESPN this morning, why are they even talking about paying Dak Prescott? He hasn't won anything. Guess what? He won one less game in 3 years, playoff game in 3 years, than Tony Romo did in 12. Guess what? He has 100% more playoff wins than Matthew Stafford, who's making $25 million this year, and Dak is making $2 million. Phillip Rivers hasn't won anything, and they just extended him. Oh, Phillip Rivers got a great resume of losing. He's won the same amount of Super Bowls. He's won the same amount of Super Bowls as Andrew Luck. I don't hear anybody talking about Andrew Luck like he ain't won nothing. But again, as I started off the show, why do the bros always have to wrestle and debate about the money. And we're the show. Every time you look up, the bros got to argue about their damn money. Well, he wasn't that good until X, Y, and Z showed up. Amari Cooper showed up. Brady don't need that. Hey, y'all, I'm finna destroy that myth right there. Deion Branch was a damn good receiver. Was he Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, anybody like that? Hell no. But he was better than Keyshawn Johnson, a wide receiver that Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl with. He was better than Willie Gault. He was better than Willie Gault. Jim McMahon won with him. Troy Brown was a very good receiver. Was he Hall of Fame? No, but you don't have to be a Hall of Famer. Rob Gronkowski, Ben Coates, these dudes could play. Corey Dillon, 10,000-yard rusher. So stop this nonsense about Tom Brady won with 3 dudes at the water cooler and the sissy in the schoolyard, because it didn't work. Everybody loves Baker Mayfield, and he hasn't done a damn thing. Shout out to Chuck D. Exactly. Baker Mayfield ain't done a goddamn thing. You know what to echo Chuck D's sentiments, you know what Baker Mayfield did when the game was on the line last year? All they need to do was win to get in the playoffs for the first time in umpteen years. He hit a wide open linebacker. He hit that linebacker like he was running a goal pattern. And they lost. So, yeah, I don't want to hear this nonsense. Oh, Dak ain't this and Dak ain't that. All they do is win. Like the jackass, I'm going to use another term from the brother Tariq Nasheed, like the jackass suspected white supremacist Skip Bayless. He sits on TV every day and argues that Dak is Brady-esque and he should be getting more respect. And Dak is the man up until they start talking about paying him. And then Dak is a rookie. Get out of here, Skip. He a Rudy because you know he needs the money. And this is why I say suspected white supremacy. Because how am I the man as long as I'm useful for you, but when I need to get compensated for what you be swinging on my jock for, I'm wrong. I need to take it for the team. No, man, because the team ain't going to take nothing from me. Shannon Sharp made an excellent point last Friday. Tell you what, they're going to take a discount. Now, if they don't win the Super Bowl, do I get the money back? I don't get the money back. Well, I ain't giving you no discount. Because I'm not playing for this, man. When you bust up your knee and your back hurt, your arms and everything hurt, the Super Bowl don't make you feel no better. That ring, you looking over there saying the ring ain't going to feel better. But you know what? That money ain't going to make you feel no better either. But you know what? The money can fly you somewhere that you can get the proper physical therapy that you need to function. Hey, man, the great Eric Dickinson once, they asked on the best damn sports show, period. Eric Dickinson once said, they asked him, would you trade in your Hall of Fame check for a Super Bowl ring? He said, hell no. I'm convinced. He convinced me right then and there. Because, I know people say, well, it's easy for him to say that he never won one. But as Eric said, a lot of people won Super Bowls. Not many people got this. Trent Dilfer got more Super Bowls than Dan Marino, Warren Moon, and Dan Fouts put together. It ain't nobody living or dead that'll say, give me Trent Dilfer in front of Dan Fouts, Dan Marino, or Warren Moon, especially Warren Moon. Hell no. You won't say give you Trent Dilfer in front of McNabb. So, how many big-time receivers did Joe Flacco win the Super Bowl with? This last go-round, I mean, come on, y'all. How many big-time wide receivers did Trent Dilfer win with? So miss me with Brady doing it with smoke and mirrors. Brady is stupid. Because he keep taking discounts and they're not even maxing out the money around them. Now, the Patriots not stupid. Oh, he winning. Yeah. It's easy when your wife making $70 million a year. So, man, man. Stop with this nonsense. I'm not no cowboy hater. I'm not a cowboy disruptor. But Jerry Jones, you had the opportunity 365 days ago to negotiate a contract to give Dak paid under Matthew Stafford money. Because he quote unquote he had one good year, one bad year. You could have went to him and said, I'm going to give you just under Matthew Stafford money and you're going to be cool, homie. And then you could have went to Amari Cooper when you traded for him and said, we're going to extend you because you gave up their first round pick because you had faith in him.
we're going to extend you 3